everybody, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and we're here with our second episode of Mojo-Busters. This week we are focusing on Hannah's challenge, and hers is photo inspiration. So let me explain a little bit. I have some notes. I was really thinking this through. Hannah's idea, from what I've gotten from her, obviously you're going to watch her video and she's going to explain it so much better because it's her challenge. But it's that a photo can make or break your layout or your mojo. If you're not using a photo you're inspired by, it's going to be really hard to create a layout that you're really excited to scrap about. So I am currently not in the new photo printing process at the moment. I like to get about a good 100 pictures to 200 before I print, and I'm just not there right now. So the idea here is to use photos. So a photo that you looked at that inspires a story, or new photos and how fun that can be to get you to want to scrap, or just a really cute photo you've been kind of waiting to scrap because of whatever reason, getting that out and put on a layout and see how that helps. And if you find that you're inspired by that and that kind of helps lift the slump that you've been in. So I was flipping through. I have stacks of photos kind of divided into what album they'll go into. They're not very thick. Let me just show you here. They're not thick. There's like maybe 20 photos in each one. And what I was doing is I was flipping through this one. This is Jackson's album. So I haven't even done any of his like monthly photos yet for his first year, but I was flipping through that one. It was the very first thing. It was the top of my stack. I opened it up and I found this photo, and I love this photo so much. Let me bring it up close to you. That is my little guy in his jolly jumper. He loved his jolly jumper. It was like, if I didn't think it was so bad for them to stay in there because it can mess up their legs, I would have let him jump in it all day long because he absolutely loved it. And I just haven't been able to tell the story yet. So I was flipping through and I love this photo. And so I was like, perfect. The first photo I picked, I looked at and I'm like, that's it. I didn't look any farther. I didn't look at any more photos because the whole point was the photo is supposed to inspire you, right? So this one has inspired me. I have a story I want to tell and I'm going to run with it. So this is my starting off point for today. I'm really excited about this layout and how what's going to happen. I think this is a really neat challenge. I was a little apprehensive about it because I don't have new photos, so I wasn't sure how that was going to work and if I was going to find that was really going to help me. But now that I've found this photo, I think it's going to be really fun. I am one that likes to start with stories and photos and stuff like that. So this challenge isn't too far out of my comfort range, but we'll still see what happens. So I'll get you on fast forward. Again, the quick reminder, don't forget to leave a comment in all 4 of our layouts videos today for your chance to win the prize by Victoria Marie. So I am excited and I'm going to get you on fast forward.
Alrighty, so because this was more to focus on a photo versus a certain layout design or anything like that, I kind of was free to do a design in any way I liked. So the first thing I did was I went into my scrap bin and I found those 3 pieces of pattern paper that I just trimmed to fit and layer correctly into the way I wanted it. I wanted it to be like an exact photo frame mat. I really haven't done that in a while and I wanted to see how that would look. And then you see me just going through the pattern papers here, trying to figure out which one I think is going to work best. I really liked that blue, but I also really liked this piece here with the documented. That little red heart with the document was really cool. And I like that there were lines so I could do my journaling because I knew this was going to be heavily journaled, as again the whole idea is to tell a story, and I'm very inspired by wanting to tell the story. It's one I have been wanting to tell for quite a while, and so I knew that there was going to be more journaling than I've done lately, and I really like to do it off to one side. So the next thing I do is I kind of just, once I found that it was going to use that. I just pulled colors that I thought was going to match and pulled in from his little outfit there that is like 2 shades of teal, which is where you're getting those 2 different colors from, and yellow. And that's just kind of where the color scheme came from. That little red heart is going to be basically the only thing that's red on this entire layout. But I like that. It's kind of neat, and it pretty much told me where my photo was going, as I really wasn't sure. I guess I could have done my journaling there and put my photo on the other side, but I really, really liked the way that it looked with it just kind of nestled right next to that little pre-printed Word document in there. I did find a doily that I didn't want to make this layout like girly in any way, but I found just that little touch of doily peeking out at the bottom was really neat. So that does get added there, along with a little tag. I do cut it and just use the little top part of it, and another little piece of a transparency that I had used in another layout. And both of those are from the Crate Paper Little You, the boy collection. And then the rest of the stuff, I'm just trying to figure out kind of the basic design on how I want to do it. I do add this kind of, not really sure. I guess it's a really like corally color up at the top for a little banner there. I really like the way that that looked as well. Just kind of another little pop of color. And so now that I've got, this is going to be the basis of my design. So I'm looking at it and liking it, thinking about where I'm going to put my title. I know I want my title to run into my journaling, so I'm going to start my journaling. My title's going to be part of it, and then I'm going to finish off my journaling. And the title is called You Love This Jolly Jumper, because he did. This was his favorite place, and it's just talking, the journaling will be talking about how much like he seriously, if I would have let him stay in that thing all day long, he loved it so much. He loved to jump and play in that thing all day. So that's what the journaling is talking about and how I got my title. It's not the most original title ever, but it definitely works and fits in with how I would like to write my journaling here. One nice thing about this is I am using 2 different fonts from the Amy Tan Transparencies, and because the shade of the width of those of the pattern paper, the way that works, they actually fit perfectly. So it was really neat how that kind of came together and just kind of nestled perfectly within the lines that were already provided for me. And now that I have this, I'm kind of looking, you're going to see me kind of tap my fingers in a moment, trying to figure out, I'm liking it. I know I need to add my journaling, but what else am I going to do to embellish? Because at the moment, like, it's definitely doable, and I could have done a really simplistic layout, but it's missing like my little flair of how I like to just kind of decorate my pages and make them a little bit more. I like to have them more heavily embellished, more often than not. And I'm just not really sure. I'm looking at this like, what am I going to do? Because that's all I had. I could have gone through more embellishments and found some more stuff, but I didn't know what else to do. So what ends up happening here is you'll see I'm just messing with that. I go and I do the banner. That part I knew I wanted, so I put that there. And then I'm going to grab one of my stencils here, and it's a triangle stencil, and I first tried to grab that small one, but decided to go with the larger one. I use this stencil all the time. I am obsessed with this triangle stencil, and I was looking at it and thought, oh, this is so neat. It'll fit perfectly. So I grabbed 3 colors. I have the Sponge Sugar, See You in the Morning, and the Tides That Bind, I believe, are the 3 colors I'm using. And you're just going to see me work on doing my mixed media here. So I just kind of worked it in one area, added what I wanted, and tested it first, though, because I knew it was kind of my idea, but what if I started it and I didn't like it and I hated the results? So I just moved my photo and tested the 3 colors. And again, with the variant of the pattern paper, I just kind of put the color variant to the lines. So the darker one is on the darker strip, and so forth and so on. And in the end, you'll see me lift it up, and I really like the way it looks, especially with this white. It's a very, it would be perfect for snowflakes is kind of what it reminds me of, because of course it's got the shimmer to it. And so I try each one of those, and I really, really love it. So you're going to see that I lift it up and give you the thumbs up and whatnot. And yeah, see how pretty is that? So I do go ahead and add that to some more of my layout. I started it there. I was liking it. I knew I needed more, so I want to put some more down by my photos. All I simply did was took the stencil the way I had done it at the top and just rotated it so it'll be kind of the same at the bottom. And it's a little bit different than I had originally thought of doing now that I'm looking back on this video. But I love the results, so I'm not really complaining there. And again, I just kind of randomly pick where I want it. This dark green, the Tides That Bind You, is the one color I had to be really careful with where I was placing it, because it is so dark. I didn't want it to be in too many spots on the layout and take away from the rest of it. But the green, the See You in the Morning, which is that really light teal that I absolutely love, and the spun sugar, I just put it within the smaller triangles. I only use 2 of the larger triangles to make it work there. And so you're going to see me work on that a little bit. And again, this was just the way this layout turns out. I'm just so happy with it. It was so fun to work with, thinking outside the box of not really worrying about the design of it at first, but just the story and the photo and how I was going to highlight my photo versus finding that perfect piece of pattern paper and so on, and how that was going to work first, because lately that has been how I've been doing my layouts. I definitely pick my photo first and try to highlight my photo in the best way possible, but I haven't been starting with the story first lately. So this was a perfect challenge for me, because it definitely got me back into my my mode of loving to journaling and making it exactly how I want, and making sure that I make space for my journaling on my layout and not having to do hidden journaling. So that was really neat, and I was really excited with the way how just a simple prompt led me to being able to get all this journaling. If you can see that, that's tons of journaling, and I'm so excited because it works perfectly. And within his album, it's a neat story, and I just want him to be able to look back at it and say, oh, I had something I really liked to do when I think he's 4 months old in this photo. So I don't know. I love the way that this challenge worked out here. So the final little steps here is I just add a few more little pieces, a couple of enamel dots from the Little You collection as well, a little star from the same collection, and that's about it. I do kind of think on how I could add a little bit more of the darker teal up in that corner, but I'm okay with it. You'll see me when I do my review that I'm still debating about it, but I think it's okay. I don't know. I still am waiting. I may go back, a couple years or months from now and add it. We'll see what happens, but you're just going to see me do the finishing touches, and I'll come back live with my final thoughts and my finished layout with everything. So just hang tight.
So here is my finished layout for the Hannah's challenge about using a photo or a story to get you started. I love, love, love the way this turned out. So this was the photo that, like I said in the intro, I saw. It was the very first photo I even flipped to, and I'm like, yep, I have a story for that, and it's what I picked. I did not know that it was going to be so kind of monochromatic with the pop of yellow there, but really it is very monochromatic, and I didn't mean for that, but it is how it turned out. I like it though, but what I really love is that I got to tell my whole story, and I've done this a lot lately where my photo is here and my title and journaling tend to be down this side. It's kind of just a go-to design right now, and I noticed that when I didn't have a plan, I just knew I wanted to start with my photo, that is kind of what happened. I originally was planning on putting my photo, because his little head is chopped off, was going to put it up in the corner at the top, and then do journaling in another area. But with this being pre-printed with the word documented, it just kind of, that's where my photo went. And then as soon as my photo went there, the rest of it went there. So that was just kind of how the design came to. And then that final finishing touch of doing the using my stencils and my dazzlers, I love the way it turned out. I feel like it needs a pop of this darker color here, but I'm afraid to put it there because there's already like there's kind of two over there already. I'm just not sure, and I'm not sure where I would put it. So I may, if it really bothers me, it doesn't bother me that much, but I may put something here. It would also, I guess, maybe need something down here, but I kind of like the spacing of it. So I think I might just leave it, and we'll see. If it bothers me down the road, I'll fix it. But I really love the pop of the darker green. So all in all, it definitely worked. It definitely sparked my mojo. I am like so ready to do another layout now because I used a piece of pattern paper that, again, I was kind of hoarding, and so it just the fact that I got a piece used up, that it hasn't been in my stash for too long. It is just the Life Noted by Pink Fresh Studios, so it's not like it's super old, but it's old enough to the fact that I probably could have scrapped with it a bunch of times over already, and I just haven't. So I'm very happy to get it used, and it was such a pretty piece to use, and it kind of lent itself to having long journaling like that. So that definitely helped me wanting to use and be more creative. I've already, while I was flipping through for this pattern paper, have come across some more patterns I'd like to combine and use, so just that alone helped. So I don't know, I really, really liked the way that this turned out, and I definitely think starting with the photo, which sparked a story, was definitely a way to go, and it did help. Really, really helped me get my layout and my juices going. So it was a great challenge, and it worked well for me. Don't forget to head on over to everyone else's channels to see what they did with the challenge, and don't forget to leave a comment for your chance to win the prize at the end for the kit class from Victoria Marie. Again, any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave them below, and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye!